Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everyone around the world. I'm your favorite Philly neighborhood beer bro, Mr. Kennedy. I hope everyone had a good weekend. Welcome to episode 8 of the Mr. VG podcast. I have a lot of news here for y'all today. But first, I wanted to update y'all on the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection because I wasn't sure if certain games were going to be on there. But now I have the actual full list here. So I'll read it off to you. Mortal Kombat, we already knew that. Mortal Kombat 2, 3, 4. Mortal Kombat Trilogy. That was a game that I was not sure was going to be on the collection, but it is. Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, of course. Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. Now, I'll tell y'all a quick story about that. 1997, Christmas Day, my brother and I, we begged our father. My brother wanted the PlayStation. I wanted the Nintendo 64. And he got us both of those consoles. I'll never forget it, one of the best moments of my life. I wanted Mortal Kombat Trilogy for the Nintendo 64, but it was sold out. So my father came home with Mortal Kombat Mythologies, and it haunted my damn nightmares. Mortal Kombat Mythologies is a terrible game. It's terrible, man. I probably spent like 95% of the time stuck in the second level, the win level, because some idiot decided that platform jumping was a good idea for a Mortal Kombat style game. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. It worked in Shaolin Monks, but that was a whole different breed. Mortal Kombat Mythologies is bad. It's so bad, it's good type of way. Like the cutscenes are cheesy. It's got charm to it. You know, some of the death animations are hilarious as hell. Sub-Zero drowning in 2 seconds of being underwater. That always got a chuckle out of me. So it's just so bad it's good game. Another game that's on here. Mortal Kombat Special Forces, which is the absolute worst Mortal Kombat game that they ever made. I say that fully aware of Mortal Kombat Mythologies. I say that fully aware of the garbage Game Boy Advance games that they have on there. Mortal Kombat Mythologies absolutely sucks. The gameplay is garbage. The story is garbage. The only good thing we got out of that was Tremor being introduced into the Mortal Kombat series. Are we being punished? Or is Ed Boon just trolling us again? Because he loves to do that type of thing. He loves to troll the fans. Those games are awful. And before I forget to mention, yeah, the Mortal Kombat Advance for the Game Boy Advance is on there. Ass. Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition for the Game Boy Advance is on there. Ass. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance for the Game Boy Advance. More ass. It's also on there as well, too. Now, for the people that are saying, where's the PS2 era Mortal Kombat? Where's Deadly Alliance? Where's Deception? Where's Armageddon? Be patient. Y'all know what's coming. This is only part 1 of the Legacy Collection. I will say that right here today, August 25th, 2025. There will be a Legacy 2 and maybe a Legacy 3. Remember the Mega Man games, the Rockman games. We got the legacy of Mega Man, the first 6 Mega Man games for the NES. Then we got the legacy 2, Mega Man 7, 8, 9, 10. We also got the legacy collection for the Mega Man or Rockman X. We also got the Zero and ZX series. So we're going to get it. You know we are. So there's no reason for you guys to be upset. I just wanted to update you guys on that whole situation. I was debating if I was going to read this article because these people are just absolutely ridiculous. PETA, you know, they used to stand for something. PETA now, I can imagine what the PETA office is like now. Just a bunch of empty head idiots with empty lives sitting around saying, hey, you know what we're going to do? Since we got nothing else to do and we're the biggest waste of money when it comes to companies, let's attack Nintendo and their video games. Because they can't do anything else. They've been doing that shit for years. And their target this time is the new Mario Kart video game. and the cow that drives a vehicle in the game. This is what these idiots have to say. The brass ring in the cow's nose glosses over real world violence and cruelty to animals. That's why we're asking you to give this beloved bovine a small but meaningful upgrade, removing the nose ring, and let the cow race free without any painful reminders of the industries that treat animals like profit-making machines. Leave the rings to Sonic and let the cow breathe free. Are they fucking serious? It's a video game character. It's not real. What the hell is wrong with you guys, dude? Y'all got so butthurt over that? Over a bull ring and a fictional cow's face. Y'all need to reevaluate your life, man. I'm not going to give these guys any more attention. This is so goddamn stupid. It's not even funny. Forgive me, Lord. But it's stupid. It's stupid. Come on, man. Dang, Peter they need to go somewhere, man. Send them into space where they can float around for a couple of years. Because they ain't doing shit here. It looks like it's the end of an era for Bungie. Pete Parsons steps down as the Bungie CEO. Now Pete Parsons and Bungie have released official statements revealing that Parsons will now be leaving the company. This is what he had to say here. Parsons' wording indicates that it was his decision to leave, but neither explained exactly why Parsons chose to step down at this time. Parsons stated retirement would be passing the torch to a new generation of leaders. Parsons shared a few words on the Bungie website about his tenure with the company and how far they have come. So let's see. We go down further, further. They chose a new leader. Studio head Justin Truman has been with Bungie for 15 years, with his roles ranging from writing code to serving as chief development officer of the company. He acknowledged that Bungie has stumbled at times and has learned from its mistakes by listening to the community, and highlighted that it's thanks to the players that the worlds Bungies have created have thrived. The new studio head also noted that Bungie will be revealing more of the studio's upcoming game Marathon later in 2025, as well as Destiny. Well, we can add layoffs to that reason, and probably the fact that they have been bleeding money. They haven't really been setting the world on fire. Maybe he's retiring because he's frustrated and he's tired of seeing the company go through the things that it's going through. Nobody knows. Nobody could get in his head. But this guy's been at the helm for years. And when you start losing heavy hitters like this, I would be worried. I really would be. So, best wishes to him. We don't know what he plans on doing. He might try to start his own company like Hideo Kojima did. We don't know. But, it looks like somebody new is at the helm. This guy got started back in 2002, and he helped develop Halo 2 and 3. That's how far back he's been in control of, been CEO of Bungie. So it just sucks that's happening. That sucks. I get to talk about Steam because I never really get to do Steam news because, let's be honest, Steam is one of the things that I never really have to worry about. But these two things concern me. It looks like over the last couple of weeks and even months, gamers have been in an uproar over credit card companies like Visa and Mastercard pressuring platforms to remove and delist video games with mature content. Steam is one of those companies that is starting to give in to their demands. They're removing games with sexual themes and violence. The reason why I'm even mentioning this is because games like Mortal Kombat, zombie games like Resident Evil and GTA could be affected by this stuff. If they're giving into the demands of these companies to remove these games because they got sexual themes, look at Mortal Kombat, like I just said. Look at how the ladies are dressed, sexually clad, the violence and stuff like that. I'm not a fan. Like, I'm gonna say this real quick. You know, I don't play those games. Like, I play those games, but I don't play games that are, sexually themed and the anime stuff and all that. You know what I mean. But Steam, one of the things that makes Steam as great as it is that gamers can make their own video games and see it come to life, whether it's good, bad, whatever. It was a platform that gave gamers freedom to make their own products. And if they start giving into stuff like this and having games removed, that's not good. That's freedom of speech being taken away. And all because they're under these credit card companies' thumbs. They got their foot on the back of their neck. I hope for the sake that GTA and games like that won't be affected, because if they start removing that stuff, I see a whole bunch of gamers going back to console. I'm telling y'all right now. I see a whole bunch of games going back to console. And that's not the only thing that's going on with that. Because here's another one. Not only is it not only is it MasterCard and Visa, but PayPal as well too. There are gamers that are noticing that you can no longer use PayPal to pay for your games in many different countries. Let me read this to y'all. Get that up here. Okay. Steam payment system just hit with another serious speed bump. Millions of players worldwide are discovering that PayPal is no longer an option at checkouts unless they pay with euros, British pounds, Japanese yen, Australian dollars, Canadian dollars, or US dollars. So PayPal has vanished. We don't know if PayPal is also one of those contributors to being, to putting pressure on Steam to remove sexual themed games. But it seems to come at a time where you have the two biggest credit card companies out there, Visa and Mastercard. It wouldn't be surprised if they're a part of this as well too. And I don't know if it's a maintenance issue. Maybe they're looking to fix it, but we're gonna have to see what happens, because this kind of scares me. This kind of scares me because it may affect video gaming as we know it on Steam, and I don't want that. People should be able to play whatever games they want to play, whether it's got violence, whether it's got adult themes, whether it's got, LGBT stuff in it. Who cares? If they play the game and they enjoy it, they should have the freedom to do so. Live and let live. As long as it's not anything morally wrong, y'all know what I mean. I'm not going to mention that on here. I don't have a problem with games being on there. And when you start removing that and taking options away from the gamer, that's where I have a problem. And I hope that Steam fights this whole thing. So let's move on to some good stuff. First, I wanted to talk about Take-Two Interactive acquires Gearbox and teases a new Borderlands game. In a bold move that set the gaming world abuzz, Take-Two Interactive has officially announced its acquisitions of Gearbox Entertainment from Embracer Group for a staggering $460 million. $460 million. Let me say this real quick. We're in a weird position here when it comes to the gaming world. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. We had a lot of companies get shut down. A lot of people get fired. Yet these companies continue to make money hand over fist. It's crazy. They're giving us games that we've been asking for while kicking us in the balls at the exact same time with cancellations of video games that people wanted to play. It's just a very, very weird situation that we're in. Embracer Group, in a detailed press release, revealed that it's divesting multiple divisions, including Gearbox Software, Gearbox Montreal, Gearbox Studio Quebec, and several high-profile franchises such as Borderlands, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Homeworld, Risk of Rain, Brothers in Arms, and Duke Nukem. However, Embracer will retain several assets, including Gearbox Publishing in San Francisco, formerly Perfect World Entertainment, the publishing rights to Remnant, Hyper Light Breaker, and other unannounced games, as well as Cryptic Studios, Lost Boys Interactives, and Capture Dimensions. So it's not a complete buyout, but it's more like a partnership. That's what it sounds like to me. Now they did just kind of throw out there that they're doing a new Borderlands and a new Homeworld game. No big reveal. They literally just said we're working on a new Borderlands game and we're working on a new Homeland game, and they're gonna be under the 2K banner, the 2K vision within Take Two. So we're just gonna see how this is going, because this is funny, because on the last episode I mentioned that Sony paid $460 million for 2% of Bandai Namco so that they can work on anime and music and video games, stuff that they've already been doing. It's just more of an official thing. So you're going to be seeing a lot of companies either merge together or, buy out, because that's what's going to happen. So I just want to tell y'all about that. Now let's get to some games that I'm excited about. These are always the most fun parts in the show for me. Nostalgia is just pouring out of my heart right now. Anybody that knows me, I'm a huge fan of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So imagine my surprise when I heard He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction, a retro style beat 'em up platform game, is coming out in 2026. And I said, oh, hell yeah, inject that into my veins. I'm going to tell y'all something real quick. Story time with Mr. Kennedy. When I was a kid, I had swords. I had so many swords, man. I had the little swords that lit up when you put the battery in it. I had a big sword with a blue hilt that my Uncle D bought for me, bought for us at the circus. But my favorite sword that I had, and it's in many pictures that my dad took when we were kids, it was a gray sword with a brown hilt on it. And I used to run around the house with that sword down my shirt, stretching out the shirt, screaming, I am He-Man, and running headfirst into stuff. I've been watching He-Man for years, so, oh man, I just got a big smile on my face. I can't believe it. I was not expecting that. Mattel, in a collaboration with Limited Run Games and developer Bitmap, have announced He-Man, the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction, a pixel art 2D style beat 'em up that's going to be released in 2026. They didn't give a date on it yet. It just says 2026. It's going to be out for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and the Nintendo Switch. So no PS4 and no Xbox X and Xbox S. Sorry, folks. The game spans 12 action-packed levels across sprawling Eternian landscapes, where you control He-Man, Teela, and Man-at-Arms, each armed with unique combos, magic-infused finishers, and power-ups to thwart Skeletor's ancient ritual and save Eternia from doom. Battle Cat makes an appearance as well, too, and villains like Evil Lyn and classic minions that stand in your path. Oh, hell yes. I love beat 'em up games, man. Golden Axe, Alter Beast, Double Dragon, Streets of Rage, Final Fight, Sailor Moon for the arcades in 1995. I love beat 'em up style games, man. It's like mind-numbingly fun to just go and just kick the shit out of everything. And to see that He-Man is getting the treatment now after the hits with the Ninja Turtle ones that just came out. Oh man, I'm excited to hear that. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with that. It looks like a lot of fun. I hope that they include more characters because it would be cool to see He-Man's twin sister She-Ra, Adora, in there as well too. That would be pretty cool. But I can't wait for that. Wait for that to come out, man. I'm gonna definitely pick that up. Horror fans rejoice. Now, I already talked about in the last episode, I talked about the Hellraiser game, and I talked about the Friday the 13th games that are on their way. They're not the only ones. Halloween fans are getting their first 1v4 horror game with the Shape, Michael Myers. So they're getting the 1v4, 4 players against Michael Myers. Now, this is the second John Carpenter game that's going to be coming out again because Toxic Crusaders is also coming out soon. And horror fans, man, this is a great period for us. This is a great period for us. We're getting games that we never even imagined were going to be coming out. Hellraiser, this is their first game ever. So, and it's just awesome. I love this. Now, it says that this game is coming out for PS5, the Xbox Series S, X, and S, and PC in 2026, so they don't have a date yet. Halloween is being developed by Ilphonic, the studio behind the likes of Friday the 13th, the game Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and Predator Hunting Grounds, and other movie adaptation games. So it is a 1 versus 4 asymmetric horror affair with the iconic Michael Myers pursuing the residents of Haddonfield. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. So if you played the Friday the 13th game that got shut down, you're gonna feel right at home. Dead by Daylight, you're gonna feel right at home. I cannot wait, man. This is so awesome, man. So awesome. I can't wait to see what happens. You're gonna have Dr. Loomis in there as well too. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope Laurie Strode, she better show up in there. You can't have a Halloween game without her. I hope we get to see some of the other characters like that took over after Laurie. That would be cool too. I can't wait to see what happens there. One more game. This one absolutely threw me through a loop because I thought that they were completely done with this franchise. For those of you who have played the Plague's Tale games, it looks like we're getting a new Plague's Tale game, but it's a prequel, so it takes place before the last two that we got before. This one is called Renaissance: A Plague Tale Legacy. This is set 15 years before the last game, which is has a very sad ending. I hate to give it away, but the little brother that you've been trying to save all of that time, it just sucks what happens at the end. I'll say that. Asobo Studios announced at the Xbox Game Showcase that its new entry in the Plague's Tale series is a prequel set 15 years before the last game. Resonance, a Plague's Tale legacy, is focused on the smuggler Sophia, a Plague's Tale from Plague's Tale Requiem, and is scheduled to come out in 2026. So no date yet. Based in a brief description from the game's trailer, Resonance follows a young Sophia as she seeks her independence as a fierce plunderer in the unforgiven world of the 14th century. So this is going to focus on, the thief Sophia, not the main character. I forget what her name was. Yeah, I forgot what her name was. It escapes my mind, but the brother and sister, that story is pretty much over. This surprises me because after they came out with that game, the people that made those games said that they were pretty much done, that there's no more story left to tell. That's why this surprises me. Now, I don't mind a prequel, where they introduce new characters and stuff and go with the stories with them. Sign me up for that. That was just surprising for me, and I'm happy to hear about that. I am happy to hear about that. Now, we're done with the miscellaneous stuff. Let's move on to Xbox. Bam. Not much really going on in the Xbox world, but I do have a few notes for y'all today. If you are a fan of PUBG, just like I had news for PlayStation 4 fans last week, I have bad news for you guys too. It looks like PUBG is shutting down its Xbox One support in a major update. In recent news, a post on PUBG's Korean site, the developer announced that support for the Xbox One and PS4 versions will end November 13th, 2025. From that date, PUBG on consoles will only be available on the Series X and S and PS5. The studio explained that this change is part of an essential update to design to take advantage of the current gen hardware, enabling improved visuals, more stable frame rates. All existing players' data and purchase items will carry over, remaining full accessible on Xbox Series and PS5. So, just like the Genshin Impact that I mentioned on the last episode, this is not a good sign for the PS4 and Xbox S and X, Xbox One S and X players. That era's coming to an end. I hate to be the one that has to tell you that, but just you can see it. It's right there. The writing is on the wall. A lot of these new games that are coming out, they're not even coming out for those systems. They're winding down support for a lot of games that have been on these consoles longer than any other consoles. It's almost done. It's almost over. Hell, we're almost at the end of the current generation. They're already talking about the PS6 and they're talking about the new Xbox console that's in the works. And that sucks. Because like I said, if you're the type of person that just, you can't afford a PS5, and we're gonna get to that later because I have more bullshit news with that and their price hikes. That's in the Sony portion, so stay tuned for that. But that sucks that that's happening. So PUBG players, but at least you get to keep all the stuff that you bought. That's a good thing. I like the fact that they're doing that because they could just easily just say, you know what, we're shutting it down. You got to start from zero. But all of your stuff carries over, which is good. So I just thought I would put that out there for y'all to know what's going on. We got another canceled game on the Xbox front, Contraband. This game was announced back in 2021 and they have been working on it ever since then. But thanks to Microsoft gutting their whole entire divisions, not entire divisions, but most of their divisions, it's no surprise that a lot of games were canceled. Perfect Dark was canceled. For people who are looking forward to that, that's been canned. Contraband is another one. Breaking news, Xbox is canceling Contraband, announced back in 2021 by Avalanche Studios, the same company that made Just Cause. After 4 years of radio silence, sources tell Bloomberg News the news arrives 4 weeks after massive layoffs, which were canceled. I'm sorry, let me read this again. 4 years of radio silence, sources tell Bloomberg News. This news arrives weeks after a massive layoff in which Xbox canceled several other big titles. So, Perfect Dark, Everwild, and several other titles were canceled by the publisher. That completely sucks. This is what they had to say. Today, we are sharing decisions that impact colleagues across our organization to position gaming for enduring success and allows us to focus on strategic growth areas, which we will end or decrease work in certain areas of the business following Microsoft's lead in removing layers of management to increase agility, effectiveness. Out of respect for those impacted today, the specifics of today's notifications of any organization shifts will be shared by your team's leaders in the coming days. So that's what Phil Spencer said when he laid off people. But yes, so Contraband was canceled because of the massive layoffs and that completely sucks. But I'm pretty sure we already knew that. Like, come on, man. A lot of these companies being shut down, a lot of them are losing money for those ones that are still open. It is insane. So that just sucks. They had an Xbox showcase, and I just wanted to read down a couple of games that are coming out soon and are already out right now. Grounded 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, 2025. They didn't give a date, but it is coming out. High on Life 2, 2025. Keeper, October 17th, 2025. At a Fate's End, 2026. Beast of Reincarnation, 2026. Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf, 2026. Super Meat Boy 3D, 2026. There Are No More Ghosts at the Grand, 2026. And Persona 4 Revival. That's to be announced. So they didn't even give a date or a year when it's supposed to come out. That's crazy. But those are some heavy hitters there, and the aforementioned new Plague's Tale game as well too. I skipped over that because I just talked about that. So we're getting some heavy hitters here, and I am excited to see what happens next. That is it for the Xbox news. Let's move on to PlayStation, because we got a lot of stuff to talk about with these guys as well too. One thing I got to lead off with, which I absolutely hate, but I did see coming. This happened on August 21st. Sony increased the prices of their hardware of the PS5. They increased all of their consoles by $50. So the PS5, the regular edition, is $549.99 US dollars. The digital edition is $500, $499.99. And the PlayStation 5 Pro is $749.99. And you'll never guess what reason they give us for this. The tariffs. Which, if it's because of that or not, I think a lot of these companies are using that as an excuse to just fucking nickel and dime us. As if it's not hard enough already for people to come up with. That's almost rent money for a lot of people to buy these consoles, man. We already had Xbox raise their hardware for shit. People don't even buy their stuff. We got the new Microsoft Xbox handheld that's $800 damn dollars, like I told you guys last time. Now we got this. Another PlayStation hike. This is what, like the fourth one that they've done? Well, I mean, what are they trying to do? Price everybody out? Like WWE is doing? Have you seen the prices of the tickets for WWE stuff? These guys are fucking out of their minds. We're in a recession. We're in a point a lot of people can't even afford this stuff. What are you guys doing? Are y'all trying to lose customers? Are y'all trying to lose money? Y'all trying to make stuff so damn expensive that nobody can buy it? So it's a lose-lose situation. There is no reason. These systems are already high enough as it is to switch to almost $500. You guys are out of your mind. I'm sick of this shit, man. I don't believe all of these companies when they say it's because of the tariffs. I think that a lot of that is bullshit. I think that they're just looking for reasons to increase the prices just to make things more expensive. And I don't see how this helps anybody. I'm getting sick and tired of them nickel and diming us. They raise the prices on the games. They're raising the prices in the hardware. Even the controllers are $80. This is bullshit, man. Another damn increase. Don't be surprised if there'll be another one in the next couple of months. Let's see how they fuck us over at that point. I'm tired of this shit, man. Here's an article. PlayStation is moving towards a community-based engagement business. A lot of people take that as they're moving away from hardware. That's not exactly what they actually said, but I'm going to read to you what they had to say. This comes from Senior Vice President, and I'm probably going to butcher his name, Sadakio Hayakawa. He made some interesting comments here in a Q&A. This is what he had to say. We have been shifting towards creation, he responded, before listing a number of examples, including the move towards production and digital cameras in Sony's TV segment. In our gaming business, we're moving away from a hardware-centric business and more to a community-based engagement business that has been increasing. So as we make more of a transition from more entertainment creation to the stable of our performance is increasing. So he didn't really say that they're moving away from hardware. He's saying that we're moving more towards a community base. So that can mean anything, man. All of these people that are, because a lot of people are getting out of hand with this stuff. They're like, oh my God, they're not going to make any more PlayStation consoles and stuff. That's not what he said. That's not what he said. So I would calm down. I wouldn't read too much into that stuff, man. I look at it more like they're moving away from exclusivity as all other companies are. Yeah, PlayStation exclusives going to Xbox exclusives going to PlayStation and Switch and all that. The only one that's still exclusive is Nintendo. Now, when I start seeing Mario games popping up on other stuff, then I will say that it's over. But yeah, don't read too much into that. Hardware centric business model and stuff like that. That's just jargon that they're saying. I wouldn't worry about it. That is it for the PlayStation thing. I didn't really have much on those guys today. Let's move on to Nintendo, because we got some stuff going on with that as well too. Nintendo, y'all are getting some games that I wasn't expecting to hit the system. But first, I got to start off with Elden Ring, because people are reporting it has severe performance issues on the Nintendo Switch 2. Gamescom attendees are reportedly extremely unimpressed with the Nintendo Switch 2 version of Elden Ring, citing severe performance issues that are causing the critically acclaimed title to dip as low as 15 FPS during certain sections. Holy crap. For a system that's supposed to be 60 FPS, dipping that low, that's not good. That is not good. This is what they had to say here. The Nintendo Switch version of Elden Ring, known as the Tarnished Edition, pun intended there. I think that they accomplished what they were looking to do there. Was announced back in April for the Nintendo Direct 2 for the Nintendo Switch 2. After some big announcements during the Gamescom opening night, the yearly gaming event is officially in full swing in Germany. This allows fans to play the Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. Unfortunately, reports from the Nintendo Life's Felix Sanchez claims that the performance of Elden Ring on the Nintendo Switch 2 is pretty abysmal. It's really bad, and I understand why they don't want you to see this, because wowie zowie. Okay, well, this is his words. This is not me. This is words that'll never come from these lips. Wowie zowie, it is terrible. At some points in the game, the FPS dips below 15 FPS. Oof. That's not good. That's not good. During cutscenes, I mean, if it's cutscenes, it happens. But gameplay, wow. Oh my God. That's not bad. That's not good. That is not good. They got to fix that. Because if you're plopping down 80, 70, 80 bucks for that, a game that barely works, I feel bad for you. Yeah, I just wanted to read that to you. That's terrible. That is awful. We do have a list of I have a list of the GameCube games that they put out on the Nintendo Switch Online. Pretty heavy hitters, which is I kind of expected because they came out when the GameCube came out, but here's a list of them. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, which is one of the best fighting games ever made. Yo, I'll die on that hill. Soul Calibur itself, awesome gaming franchise. If you like fighting games and you like Tekken and you like Virtua Fighter, you'll love games like that. Soul Blade as well too for the PlayStation, excellent game. F-Zero GX, great racing game. Super Mario Strikers, Chibi Robo, Super Mario Sunshine, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, Luigi's Mansion, and Pokemon Coliseum. So those are the games that are currently out for the GameCube. Hopefully we'll get some more, and I will keep saying it. I will keep shouting to the heavens, the gaming gods above. Nintendo, please put Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes on that. Put Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, the remake of Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation. I need that game. Since it's locked on the GameCube, it was never ported anywhere else. There's no excuse why they can't give us that. Couple of games coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 later on in the year. The Final Fantasy VII Remake makes its way to the Nintendo Switch. They shared a little bit of footage of that. For those of y'all, Final Fantasy VII is probably the most popular Final Fantasy game to ever come out. A lot of fans live and die by that game, and they love it. So that game is making its way over. They did not give a date. It could be later on this year, or it could be next year. We'll just have to see. Another game that's making its way over is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I didn't get a chance to play that one. I did play the first Xeno Chronicles that they had on the old Nintendo Switch. It's a lot of fun. You're going to lose a lot of hours of your life playing a game like that because the story is engaging like crazy. Like you want to see what's next. The gameplay is lavish. The graphics are awesome. I would like to get my hands on that one as well too. This one doesn't have a date either. But it I guess they're saying it's going to run at 60 frames. We'll have to see because, after the Elden Ring stuff, I highly doubt it. But we will see what happens there. As more news comes out about it, I will let you guys know. It looks like another Nintendo Direct event has been leaked for September. Nintendo didn't announce it yet, but it's been leaked. So that may be where we hear about Metroid Prime 4 and some of the games that they did not mention. So it's just a rumor though. I'm just going to tell y'all about it because, this comes from Switch Force. Then Nintendo tried to phone in an emergency about missing Switch 2 games and they accidentally dialed 912. What the hell that means? September 12th. That's where they're getting it from. Now, I don't know if it's true. I don't know. But I'm just the guy that just tells you this stuff. Don't shoot the messenger. But everybody takes that as there being another Direct. Because they know they got to fix this. They know that a lot of fans are pissed off about Metroid Prime 4 being omitted from the last Direct back in July. So they know that they got to fix this before fans come at them with pitchforks. So it says, now news reports suggest that Nintendo Direct could be taking place in September. Initially, Switchforce claimed on social media that a presentation would be set for September 12th, hinting that it could explain why Nintendo did not announce more games during its latest Nintendo Direct. The information was given by VGC, whose sources confirmed that Nintendo Direct is planned for mid-September. However, VCG's sources did not confirm September 12th. So they're saying VCG is saying mid-September. Switch Force is saying September 12th. So I don't know which one it is, but I know that Nintendo needs to correct this. They need to mention Metroid Prime 4, and there were a lot of games that they did not mention in the last direct. So here's a clue. If they shut down the Nintendo store, for updates and maintenance around September 12th, then y'all know another direct is coming. So keep an eye out for that. And that is it for the notes today. Thank you to everyone that showed up for the show. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I love y'all. This will be out on the feed, and this will be out on all these platforms: Spotify, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, etc., etc. Real quick on what I've been doing as of late. I decided to take a break from streaming video games. Because I'm going through a little bit of a burnout. I'm not trying to bring the show down, but streaming and coding and building websites, stuff that I do in my free time, it really takes a lot out of you. So I just decided I'm just going to take a break. I'm going to keep the podcast going. That's a given. But just for right now, the people that show up Sundays and Mondays and Tuesdays hoping that I'm streaming, I'm not going to be doing that probably for another week or so. I just need to get my head back in order. So the people who support me, I appreciate you guys. Please be patient with me. I will be back. I just need some time to myself to recuperate and recharge and get my mind back in order. That said, I appreciate every single one of you guys. You have a great day. Y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see y'all next time.